Good morning, students. Today we'll be starting a new chapter, that is algebraic identities. The main concepts which will be discussed, that is, the algebraic expressions are expressions formed from the variables and constants. A variable can take any value. The value of an expression changes with the value chosen for variables it contains. So it will be different for different sums. An identity is a standard equality which is true for all values of the variables in that equality. Here we will be learning two identities. The first one is a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab, and a minus b whole square, that is equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab. These two identities you have to remember. The learning objectives of this exercise is that in algebraic expressions and identities, a student will know about the identities in algebraic expression and will be able to represent it geometrically. He or she will be able to know the relationship between algebra, geometry, and arithmetic. He or she will also understand the relationship between the algebraic expressions. From the exercises based on pictures and numericals, he will generalize the algebraic expression and he will be able to use it in daily life. The methods we'll be using for learning this chapter is, first one, art integrated learning, which is commonly known as AIL. The process involves in learning through this is integrating the various subjects with different modules of art, such as painting, drawing, it can be clay modeling, paper cutting, etc. But here we'll be using drawing and paper cutting, and that part we'll be doing in math class, and we'll be using interactive method also. We are learning through presentation based learning, PPT based learning, and video. Here I have provided one hyperlink that can be copied and we can paste it in the browser, and that will give you an idea how to integrate this module with different part of modules of art. Okay, so whatever is explained in the first method, that is AIL, that you will experience if you click on that link. In this slide, we will be correlating algebraic expressions with arithmetic and geometry. In mensuration, we have learned that the area of a square is represented by a square, where a is the length of each side. Now, we know that perfect square numbers are 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, etc. But why are they called perfect squares? Because these numbers can be represented geometrically with squares. For example, 4 is equal to 2 square, that means 2 into 2. So we can say that 4 is geometrically represented by a square having each side equal to 2. Similarly, 9 is equal to 3 square. So 9 is represented by a square of side 3. 16 is represented by a square of side 4. 25 is represented by a square of side 5, and so on. Similarly, we can say that x square, the last square shown in the figure, x square is represented by a square having each side equal to x, where x is a variable. Now we'll be concentrating on the first identity, that is a plus b whole square. We'll see how it is derived mathematically. We know that a plus b whole square is equal to a plus b into a plus b. So, a into a plus b into a plus b. So, a into a is giving us a square, a into b is ab, plus b into a is ba or ab, plus b into b is b square. Now, we are writing the like terms together and we are adding the numerical coefficient of the like terms, that is 1 plus 1, we are getting 2ab. So, a square plus 2ab plus b square. Now, we will be correlating this concept of algebra with geometry. In the last slide, we have seen that x square is represented by a square having side x. So, we can say that a plus b whole square is represented by a square of side a plus b. Similarly, we can say that, and that is shown in the first figure in the largest square of green color. Now, this figure can be divided into 4 parts. That is shown in the second figure. Now, the first part is a square of side A, and the second part is a rectangle of dimension A and B. The third figure is one more rectangle, the smaller one, one more square, the smaller one of side B. And the fourth one is one more rectangle of side A and B. So, we have 2 squares of different dimensions and 2 rectangles of same dimension. Now, the first figure, the square is represented by a square because each side is a, and the third figure, the smallest square, is represented by b square because each side is b. And the rectangles, the area of rectangles are represented by AB and AB because area of rectangle is given by the formula length into breadth. Here the length and breadth are A and B. So, the largest square, that is a plus b whole square, can be broken into 4 parts. One is a square, one is AB, one is b square, and the fourth one is one more AB. So, we can rearrange and write a square plus AB plus AB plus b square, which actually gives us a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. This is how we are geometrically deriving the identity. Now, we will be concentrating on a minus b whole square, that is equal to a minus b into a minus b, equal to a into a minus b minus b into a minus b. So, we are getting a square minus ab minus ab plus b square. We are adding the coefficient of the like terms minus 1 plus minus 1, that is giving us minus 2ab. So, a minus b whole square is equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. Now, let us geometrically derive it. The derivation, this geometric derivation of this slide and the previous slide, we will be doing once again in our math class. Elaborately, we will be doing it there. Now, in this case, the largest square, which is shown in the first figure, that is representing a square. In the previous slide, it was showing a plus b whole square, but here it is showing a square. That means the length of the largest square is now represented by A. Now similarly, we are dividing this square into 4 parts, and the part with shorter length is known as B. So the rest of the length is known as A minus B. So it is represented by a square of side A minus B. So the area will be A minus B whole square. So A minus B whole square is now the square inside the figure. Now two rectangles having length A and B as it was in the previous figure, and one square of side B square. Now if we just arrange the terms, we will be getting that area of A square is equal to the area of the square A minus B whole square and the smaller square B square, and the area of the two rectangles AB and AB. So if you then rearrange the term, we will be getting A minus B whole square is equal to A square minus 2AB plus B square. Now let us solve some numerical problems by using the identities. For example, the first one is 17 square. So we can write it as A plus B whole square, like 10 plus 7 whole square. It can be 11 plus 6 also. You can break it according to your convenience. So if 10 plus 7 whole square is equal to A plus B whole square, and we know the identity is A square plus 2AB plus B square. So we can write that here A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 7. So we can substitute the values of A and B here. So A square will be 10 square, 2AB will be 2 into 10 into 7, and B square will be 7 square. 10 square is 100, and the second term will be 2 into 7 into 10, that is 140, and 7 square is 49. So if you add, we are getting 289. Now let us try the same sum 17 square with the identity A minus B whole square this time. So if we break it now by saying 20 minus 3 whole square, then 20 is equal to A and 3 is equal to B. And A minus B whole square is given by A square minus 2AB plus B square. So it can be written as 20 square minus 2 into 20 into 3 plus 3 square. 20 square is 400 minus 2 into 20 into 3 gives us minus 120 plus 3 square is 9. So 400 minus 120 plus 9 is 289. So both the way we are getting the same answer. Now we can solve these sums. You have to expand by using identity 2x plus 3y whole square. Here A is equal to 2x and B is equal to 3y. As A plus B whole square is equal to A square plus 2AB plus B square, so we can write in place of A 2x whole square plus 2 into 2x into 3y in place of 2AB plus 3y whole square in place of B square. 2x whole square is 4x square plus 12xy plus 9y square. Similarly, 103 whole square can be broken as 100 plus 3 whole square. Here A is equal to 100 and B is equal to 3. As A square plus 2AB plus B square represents A plus B whole square. So we can write 10 whole square plus 2 into 10 into 3 plus 3 whole square, which gives us 100 plus 60 plus 9, that is 169. Similarly, question number 2, 4p minus 3q whole square. We can identify that because minus sign is given, so it will be equal to A minus B whole square. and the identity is a square minus 2ab plus b square. So in place of a we will write 4p and in place of b we will write 3q. So we are getting 4p whole square minus 2 into 4p into 3q plus 3q whole square. So 16p square minus 24pq plus 9q square. Now let us see some solved examples. This type of sums you have to practice. Question number 3, it is given x plus 5 whole square. As plus sign is given, we will be using the first identity a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So here a is equal to x and b is equal to 5. So in place of a square, we will be writing x whole square plus 2 into x into 5 plus 5 whole square. So x square plus 10x plus 25. Similarly, in the second sum, y minus 8 whole square. So we'll be using the identity a minus b whole square is equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. Here a is equal to y and b is equal to 8. So in place of a square, we'll be writing y whole square minus 2 into y into 8 plus 8 whole square. So the final answer is y square minus 16y plus 64. In question number 5, 2x plus 4 whole square. So a is equal to 2x and b is equal to 4. So we are getting 2x whole square in place of a square. In place of 2ab plus 2ab, we are writing plus 2 into 2x into 4 plus 4 whole square. 2x whole square is 4x square plus 16x plus 16. In the same way, we can solve question number 6. A plus 3b whole square. Here a means a and b means 3b here. So a square plus 2 into a into 3b plus 3b whole square. 3b whole square means 3b into 3b. Note it. It is 3b into 3b which gives us 9b square. Here you make mistake. You write simply 3b square. No. You have to square the numerical coefficient also, which gives us 9b square. Question number 7 is 3y minus 4 whole square, that is a square minus 2ab plus b square. Here a is equal to 3y and b is equal to 4. When we are doing 3y whole square, we are squaring 3 also, y also. We are getting 9y square minus 24y plus 4 square 16. In question number 8, 11pq plus 4q whole square. Here a is equal to 11pq and b is equal to 4q. 11pq square gives us 11 square 121 and pq whole square is p square q square minus 88pq plus 16q square. So 121 p square q square minus 88pq plus 16q square. Question number 9, x square plus 2y whole square. So we are using the identity a square plus 2ab plus b square, which gives us x square whole square plus 2 into x square into 2y plus 2y whole square. X square whole square will give us x to the power 4 plus 2 into 2 4x square y plus 2y whole square gives us 4y square. There is one critical thinking question. We have to expand the given term. Here the numerical coefficient is a fraction. 3 by 4 a square plus 3b square whole square. So as because plus sign is seen, we will be using the identity a square plus 2ab plus b square. Here a means 3 by 4a and b means 3b square. So 3 by 4a square, a whole square plus 2 into 3 by 4a square into 3b square plus 3b square whole square. So we are getting 9 by 16 a to the power 4 plus 9 by 2 a square b square plus 9 b to the power 4. Hope all of you understood the concept of algebraic identity. Any problem if you face, please talk to us during Teams class. Thank you, children.